Hello, hello, beautiful beings, and welcome to the end of 2023 and the beginning of a brand new chapter in humanity's existence. And boy, what a chapter it will be. There will be high highs and definitely some low lows, and we are kicking off 2024 with a lot of both of those sides. So yeah, it's going to be an intense video. As always, take it or leave it. Take everything with a grain of salt, whether it's from a psychic channeler, an oracle card reading, an astrology reading, whether it be from the Galactic Federation. Just know that timelines can and do always change. So there needs to be a really big disclaimer on any prediction video that anyone makes that we are only ever tapping into one probability or possibility for the future. That being said, we are in a very tumultuous time, and there are a lot of things going on right now. So yeah, my intention for this video is to give you information, knowledge, and a little bit of hope maybe at the end so that you feel informed, you feel aware, and you feel ready and prepared moving into the new year. Mostly my other videos are to uplift your vibration. Today is purely just preparation. It's informational. Okay, before we get into everything, and when I say everything, we are going to be talking about AI, we're going to be talking about solar flares, we're going to be talking about the pole shift, we're talking about false flag alien invasion, political unrest, wars, the American presidential election, and so much more. And before we go into that, just a couple of announcements. Of course, if you're new to the channel and you like this sort of content and you're into aliens and other dimensions and quantum physics and third eye awakening, then you've come to the right place, not to mention conspiracies and reptilians and all of that other good stuff. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I am challenging all of you guys to actually share this video with someone who doesn't know who I am. My word for 2024 is reach. I am so ready to reach new audiences. I am so ready to impact people who maybe have no idea that we actually have a consciousness and a soul in our body. So share it with someone new. You don't have to be the crazy one. I can totally be the crazy one for you. And if they pass the vibe check, then you've just deepened your relationship with them, which is pretty badass. All right. Also, we've got the Cosmic Gateway coming up. That is on December 21st, and that is all about cutting cords with 2023 and opening up new doors, possibilities, opportunities, manifestations for 2024. So even if you're in currently 2024 and you still feel like there are some cords to cut and some manifestations to be had, then be sure to check out the Cosmic Gateway. Last but not least, if you are super freaking annoyed by all of the advertisements on this video, then go over to my website, elizabethapril.com, check it out on there, absolutely free. All you have to do is sign up as a seeker, which is a free membership, and you get to watch this video ad-free. So please be aware, and this video also might be taken down. If it's taken down, go on over to my website to watch it, and so many other videos that have been taken down in the past. Last but not least, we have monthly Galactic Federation meetings on the 11th of every month. So if you are new to the channel and you want to hear from our galactic friends, I do channel them every month on the 11th as a summit. So check it out. All right, let's dive right into it. I want to kind of just be short and sweet with this video. I've got lots to go into. I will say that a lot of this information has been channeled and given to me by extraterrestrials who work for an organization called the Galactic Federation. So like I said, take it or leave it. If it resonates with you, it's for you. If not, no big deal. First, we're going to be talking about the pole shift. All right. So essentially, what's happening is it's not global warming, it's a pole shift. Planet Earth has experienced pole shifts in the past, and so this is nothing new that we're going through. But what I will say is that it's happening a lot less than what it's happened before. In the past, it has been a total 180 pole shift where Antarctica turns into a beautiful, lush, tropical, Costa Rica sort of rain forest. We're not going to have that. From what I've heard, the poles are only shifting about 13 degrees, which is still significant enough, but not so much that we're all going to die. So don't worry about that, but it is happening. In 2024, what we're going to experience, and what we've been told by the Galactic Federation is we're going to have a lot of tectonic plate shifting, which means a lot of rumbling, a lot of earthquakes, and with that, and also with the electromagnetism shifting on planet Earth, we're also going to have a lot of odd weather patterns. We are going to get snow where there isn't snow. We are going to get, rain where there isn't rain. We're going to get things like flooding, fires, freezing, and like I said before, a lot of earthquakes. I also channeled that there are going to be new land masses, if not just one, maybe multiple land masses that are going to be created either through volcanoes that erupt underneath the ocean and or the tectonic plates shift and they push up land masses from below the ocean up above the ocean. So we are going to see that along with a lot of strange weather patterns, and it's all due to the continuing pole shift because it's not new, it's continuing to happen. Okay, moving on, we're going to experience solar flares. Now, we've already been experiencing solar flares in 2023 and before that, but those solar flares are going to continue. And there's a little bit of a split reality coming into play here. There's one reality or one timeline for planet Earth where we experience a really massive solar flare that wipes out our entire electrical grid, and it will take many, many months to repair that globally and to come back to a place that we were. And then there's also a timeline where we have many smaller solar flares, and it slowly helps us shift our vibration. Now, no matter what, solar flares, whether it be many small ones or one big one, are going to dramatically increase the electromagnetic frequency on planet Earth, which means things like increased vibration within human beings, and then also things like the Schumann resonance spikes and things like seeing the aurora borealis as well in the sky are all a part of it. So we will see Schumann resonance spikes, and we will also see Schumann resonance blackouts as well that are going to be quite common in 2024. So like I said, there are two split timelines here with solar flares, one big one and many small ones. I personally prefer many small ones. It's just a little bit of a less dramatic shift. If we do get one massive solar flare that wipes everything out, and what I mean by wipes everything out, wipes out the electrical grid and the internet, it's going to take quite a long time to repair, and there most likely will be a lot of trauma, a lot of deaths that occur within that. Now, I will also say that because of the poles shifting and these tectonic plate shifts and these weird weather patterns, we will experience some tragedies and some deaths along with those weather patterns as well. Now think about it. If a huge tectonic plate shifts in the ocean and there's some sort of earthquake, that will result in, say, a tsunami on land, right? Which can result in many, many people, unfortunately, passing away. So those are all possibilities with these impending shifts and flares taking place. Okay. All right, let's move on to global political unrest. Now, this is nothing new, but this is not only just going to continue in 2024, but this is going to very dramatically increase in 2024. And yes, Paul Harp is a thing, but I have a video on that, and this is not the video for that. Okay. So global political unrest. So essentially what came through is that there are going to be continued wars. Yeah, it could be the Russia-Ukraine war. Yes, it could be the war in the Middle East. And it could actually be an entirely new war that is created as well. It wasn't clear between what countries this was, but it was clear that there was a global impact of this. And one of the biggest global impacts is actually to the supply chain. So what came through was, ports and ships and, the supply chain of goods, export and importing goods into each country all over the world is going to be disrupted by these wars, the ones that are currently happening and the ones that will continue to happen into 2024 and potentially new ones that continue into 2024. And now with the global supply chain being disrupted, what also came through is this word of famine. I really saw a lot of famine occurring all across the world, but unfortunately the third world countries are going to get hit the worst. It doesn't mean that the first world countries will not feel it and not get hit, but unfortunately it is those other countries that are going to feel it the most. And this is actually going to prompt countries to really ask themselves, how do we become more self-sufficient? How do we become more sustainable? And so not only will countries at least begin in 2024 to think about self-sustainability and to minimize globalization, but then to also for countries to think about how can they promote self-sustainability with individual people within their population as well. Maybe there are initiatives for having your own gardens in your backyard, having your own food grown and those kind of things. That is going to be absolutely invaluable starting in 2024 and moving beyond. So please keep that in mind. If you're not already doing that, please begin to think about that. There are also some really incredible in-house grow systems, like hydroponic grow systems that you can have inside your house if you're not in a great climate for growing. So please keep those things in mind. Okay, so one of my questions, just about global political unrest and the war and what's happening. Now, why, right? Like, why are all of the powers that were planning these wars? Why do they continue with these wars, this bullshit war, right? And essentially, this is the age-old technique that they've used time and time again, which is to create fear through war to boost economy, but then to also create compliance. Because with fear, when you're scared, it is the fight or flight or freeze. And in that state of being, you're not in control of your own reality. You're not co-creating the collective reality, and you're definitely not co-creating your own individual reality. You are in survival mode, and that's what war does. So what can we do, the ones who are aware of this, the ones who are waking up and awakened, what can we do to help support the rest of the world who's going through this, who are in these states of fear and compliance? What we can do is we can hold the highest frequency. We can ensure that we're not focused on feeding the matrix and feeding the agendas. We can focus on love and harmony and solutions and peace all throughout the world. And it has been proven that if we can all come together and meditate around the same collective intention, we can make a difference. So please keep that in mind in 2024 when you're feeling a little apathetic about what the hell is going on planet Earth. You can make a difference. And just by stopping for 10 minutes a day and focusing on what you want for the planet, that's going to reach far and wide. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Also, just with holding that highest frequency, in order to shift into the fifth dimension or the new earth, it's not about knowing information. It's about holding a frequency. It's about holding a feeling. As long as you can hold the frequency of kindness, of compassion, of forgiveness, of understanding, then you're going to shift yourself into a higher frequency, and you're going to shift those around you into a higher frequency. If you focus on knowledge, knowing who are the bad guys and what are they up to and what are they planning and what's the next agenda and how can I navigate this with the knowledge, then you're focused on the wrong things. Knowledge won't get you there. Feeling unconditional love will. And I know it sounds so cheesy and so woo-woo, but it's true. All right, let's move on. False alien invasion. This is really interesting, and if you have been on my channel for a little bit, then you'll know I've talked about this, I've brought this up before, and this has been a timeline possibility. This came up quite clearly. And right now for 2024, there's about a 50-50 chance this is going to happen. 50-50 chance is a pretty high probability that it will happen. 50% likely to happen in 2024. There's even a timeline of when this could potentially happen, which is what came through is the late summer, and this would be summer in the Western Hemisphere. So it would be like August, September is when the powers that were, or the governments, would plan a false alien invasion, and they could blow up some buildings, they could destroy some shit, they could kill some people. Absolutely that could happen. Once again, to create fear, to create panic, to create compliancy, and then also to create reliance on the governments, right? Oh my goodness, what are you guys going to do about it? They're losing control. So right now their mechanism, their fight or flight, their mechanisms right now are, what can we do to regain control over the people? And an alien invasion is a perfect way to subdue the masses and to create a reliance and attachment to them, because the people don't feel like they have the power to navigate that type of situation. So like I said, if that happens, most likely it will happen midsummer, kind of early fall. And I do want to mention, as a side note, real disclosure is still happening. Real disclosure is still taking place. And for the most part, we're going to see this at an individual level. Yes, there are way more UFOs in the sky. Yes, there are, individual people getting contacted, all right, in their dreams, in the astral, telepathically. And yes, we're going to continue to see governments around the world talking about this and making claims and making statements. And just because they are talking about it doesn't mean that it's not true. It just means that they're trying to get ahead of the narrative before it gets out of their hand. Because disclosure is happening no matter what. And they want to be first to control that narrative. Okay. Let's move on to AI and robots. This was very interesting, and it's not necessarily good or bad. Well, I guess it depends on who you are. Okay, here's what came through. 2024 is going to bring about a really rapid progression and increase of AI technology, artificial intelligence technology, and automation, a lot of automation and a lot of robotics. So the vision that I saw was robotics, not robots like humanoid robots, but like more robotics automating industries in factories. Okay? But on top of that, we're going to have a continued a continued advancement in artificial intelligence, and how that's going to also revolutionize and change industries, many industries all over the world. Apparently, says the Galactic Federation, in 2024, we are going to begin or start to be challenged with AI and sentience. Yes, we know that AI is huge right now. Yes, we know that robots and like all of that, like there's a mad rush to create the best robot right now, but we have not yet fully talked about or tackled the conversation of sentience. So for 2024, what's going to happen is we are going to have to start having that conversation. The governments, the countries of the world are going to have to start talking about it. And essentially, what came through is that humans are not capable of dealing with sentience in artificial intelligence yet. We're entirely too narcissistic. We are entirely too war-based. We are entirely too separate to really even be able to navigate that at an intellectual level. So at a mature level. So essentially what's going to happen is the whole sentience and artificial intelligence, and we're not just talking about sentience within robots and robotic bodies, but we're talking about sentience within artificial intelligence programs. And that's going to be deferred until we can handle it. And that might be another couple of years down the line when we can actually handle it. And when I say deferred, it might mean shutting down those programs until we can actually know how to navigate that. Now, what came through is actually our awareness of the universe and our growing awareness, hopefully soon, of interdimensional beings and extraterrestrials will actually help us in our navigation of sentient AI and robots. And the reason why is because they have sentient AI, they have robots out in the universe that have entire civilizations. And that issue has been dealt with before many, many, many times. And they have tools and resources and information that can assist humanity on this planet with that issue. So, eventually, when we do kind of understand that we're not alone in the universe and we can all collectively agree on that, that is when we will be able to fully deal with and understand sentience and AI. That being said, it's going to happen in our lifetime. There's no doubt about that. The election. Before I get to the election, because this is kind of one of my last points that I want to mention, and then we're going to talk about solutions as well that came through. Once again, guys, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I challenge you to share this video with someone new, with someone who has no idea who I am and probably thinks I'm batshit crazy, and that is totally okay. And hopefully they watch one more video of mine and then they start binge watching all of it. Just a reminder, you can catch all of my videos completely ad-free on my website, elizabethapril.com, and you can sign up as a seeker, which is a totally free membership level, and watch a bunch of videos. And if you want to deep dive, of course, you can sign up for a different membership tier and find all of my videos. But just a reminder, you don't have to suffer through the ads on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I don't recommend it. Okay, go over to my website. And then also a reminder, every single month I've got Galactic Federation meetings. If you have no idea who the Galactic Federation is or what I actually do with them, then I highly recommend you check it out, because you're here, you're watching this, you're listening to this for a reason. And for the rest of you who show up at these Galactic Federation summits every single month, thank you for doing that and being a part of the spreading of knowledge, information, and activation that we all receive during those information sessions. Okay, the election. Before I get to the election, I just want to mention there's a bunch of stuff that I don't feel like I can say here for a lot of reasons. that I did mention in, speaking of which, my Galactic Federation Summit that just happened like an hour ago. So I had my December 11th summit, and I asked them about the 2024 and what was going to happen. And then the election came up, and they gave a lot of information. So I'm just going to give you the high level points. But if you want to know more about AI and more about the election and more about everything that they said was going to happen in 2024, go check out that video, because there are certain things that I'm just not going to mention here. Okay. I don't even know how to navigate this topic. So let's just talk about Trump and Biden, okay? Just as representations of both of those sides. The information that came through, and take it or leave it, and please do not hate on the messenger, all right? I am bipartisan, totally neutral. I do not have sides. I don't even know what Republican and Democrat is, so do not hate on me, okay? I'm a Canadian girl. Do not care about American politics. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, so the information that came through is that Trump and his mission, and this is really important, this resonated with me, he is a conduit of change. That is his mission here as a human being. That is his sole mission. If I were to put him into a mission category coming from my book, it would be, he would have the mission of rebel. He is a conduit of change. He is here to shake shit up and totally collapse the old system. I think that we can all agree on that. That being said, there's also this energy that comes through when I look at 2024 in the election, where he's kind of playing both sides right now. It almost feels like he's made promises to both sides. It feels like he's almost been forced into making promises to both sides so that he can do his work. The work of being a conduit of change. And this might rattle some feathers, but I gotta say it. He is a conduit of change, not the bringer of salvation. Yes, change needs to happen before we move into a place of salvation, of harmony, of unity, but that's not his role. Okay? So there's still this energy that both Trump and Biden, well, we know Biden, but both Trump and Biden are still puppets. They're still playing this game. And we have to have someone who is playing the old Earth game and the new Earth game. We have to have someone who's in between. Now, there are individuals who are in politics, and potentially some individuals who are even running, who have absolutely no chance of becoming president, but are still running, who are higher vibrational, who are, say, white hats or whatever you want to call them, right? They're here to fully anchor in that new Earth frequency, but it's not their time yet. Remember, between 2024 and 2028, we are still in between the transition of old Earth and new Earth, of 3D and 5D. We are still in between, which means it's going to be absolute chaos during that time. And I'm definitely going to be doing a video in January of that 4-year cycle. We're going to see death. We're going to see destruction. We're going to see political unrest. We're going to see financial collapse. We actually have to see all of that in order to get to a place of a higher frequency collectively. So the question is, do we want someone who is corrupt and has and has this perceived stability to them, or do we want someone who's probably still a little bit corrupt, but who is just bringing absolute chaos with them in order to collapse that old Earth frequency, right? I don't know about you guys, but I'm down for collapse. I'm down for chaos. I'm down to really push the boundary. I'm down to just get it over with. And something that was really interesting that came up in this channel is that it's very similar to the solar flare the solar flare timelines. And if you haven't seen my solar flare videos, please go watch them. I have multiple, but one in particular I'm thinking of. In one timeline, a huge solar flare hits and wipes out everything, and it's destruction, it's chaos, it's mayhem, but we move into a higher frequency rapidly. Another is we get a lot of different little solar flares that, yes, raise the vibration, but gently move us into a higher frequency. The same goes with the presidential election. We've got one candidate that's going to subtly just sort of stay the same. Yeah, probably make things a little bit worse and some agendas and things. But no matter what, the awakening is happening. And there is no stopping that train. Okay? There's no derailing the frequency from getting higher. No president can do that. No president, no elect, no puppet can derail us from the trajectory that we're on. Or there's another candidate that will bring absolute chaos that will force us into change a lot faster. Right? So what's great about this is that no matter who is elected, remember this please for whenever that election happens, no matter who is elected, we are still on the same path. So don't feed into it. Don't give it too much thought or too much worry. Don't feed it your attention or your focus. Stop feeding the fucking matrix. Stop. Because it's still all a puppet show. It is. I don't care what side you're on. Find neutrality. What is one thing that we can all agree on as citizens of the planet? We can all agree that we deserve equality. We deserve access to clean water. We deserve access to food. We deserve access to a roof over our head and social services and education. And free healthcare. Come on. We deserve access to these basic human rights. Everyone on planet Earth does. We deserve peace. We deserve freedom. We deserve all of those things. That's what we need access to. And if we can all come together and agree on those things, then guess what? After 4 years of absolute chaos and destruction, guess what we can all manifest and create? No matter where you are in the world, we can manifest presidents and politicians that align with all of those great things. Equality, access to clean drinking water, access to food, access to healthcare. But it starts with stop feeding the matrix and start focusing on what you do want, not what you don't want. Start today. Start in 2024, please. I'm begging you. All right. The awakening is happening either way. Last but not least, solutions. 2024 is going to bring about an incredible amount of solutions. We're talking about financial solutions. We're talking about environmental solutions. Worms that eat plastic. We're talking about biodegradable everything. We're talking about machines that can run on water. We're talking about machines that can change ocean water into fresh drinking water and don't have nasty byproducts. We're talking about massive ocean cleanups of oil and, plastics. We're talking about reverse aging technologies. We're talking about medbed technologies, frequency technologies that are going to help us move into the new earth, help us live longer, help us extend the life of planet Earth, help us grow trees, help us bring back species that have been extinct, help us grow organic food everywhere. 2024 is going to bring about an unprecedented amount of solutions in every single sector of this planet. And the reason why, it's not because this is the first time solutions and cures to cancer have ever been thought of, and solutions to free energy technology have ever been thought of. As a matter of fact, it's the first time that the powers that were no longer have the resources to suppress the solutions that have always been there. Yes, those solutions have always been there. It's time to make conscious choices in your own life. It's time to focus on a reality that you want to create rather than the reality you want to fight against. Be the change in this world, because I'm telling you that one of you can make a profound impact on the planet. And if that's all you take away from this video, then that's enough. You don't have to know more. You don't even have to do more. Just be present. Just be grateful. Just be kind and compassionate to others. And that impact will serve more than anything else you could do today or any day of 2024 and beyond. As always, thank you all so much for being here, for holding space, for creating change, for doing the work. You are doing enough. You are enough. And it's time for all of you star seeds, all of the old souls, to step into your power, to understand what that mission is, and to take action in 2024. You, my friends, are being called into action, and I could be not more excited than right now to have all of us come together and anchor in the new Earth frequency. I will see all of you in the fifth dimension.